Hello everybody and welcome to another Premodern video. Today we're going to be playing in the league. We're going to be playing in the Magic Online Society League. This is my very first try at playing a blue-white control style deck, and the truth of the matter is that I got the Parallax Tide bug. You know, like it bit me, and it's very, very strong. It's I'm feeling the effects still. So after playing the blue-white solution deck, the previous league, I really wanted to try. Okay, what if we go a little bit bigger? So I'm trying some form of tide control. We'll see how this goes. The way this deck functions is precisely the same way as the previous version of the deck that I tried. So we have Parallax Tide, which combos with Seal of Cleansing and Stifle. So it combos in two different ways. With Seal of Cleansing, you play the Seal, and then you play Tide. You put all of the exile triggers on the stack, so you exile 5 of your opponent's lands. Then with all of those triggers on the stack, you crack the Seal of Cleansing. What that does is it destroys the Parallax Tide, and then the other trigger, which says that all the lands enter the battlefield, it's going to go on the stack, so that trigger resolves without returning any lands, but the 5 triggers that are exiling the lands are still on the stack. So then all of those resolve and all of the lands are exiled for good. So that's how that works. The other way to combo it would be Parallax Tide plus Stifle. And here it's fairly simple. So you just use Parallax Tide and you exile 5 of your opponent's lands, and then on your upkeep, whenever you remove the last fading counter, all of the lands are supposed to resolve. That's also a trigger, so you stifle that trigger, and then all of the lands do not resolve because the trigger was countered. So we are, instead of playing it in a more proactive shell like we did in the previous deck, we're going to be playing it a little bit more of a control shell instead. So we have access to some removal in Swords to Plowshares, Wrath of God, and even a singleton Humility. Then we also have access to some card advantage in the form of accumulated knowledge and factor fiction. We also have access to impulse and as a way to smooth out draws. Some counter magic in Mana Leak, Counterspell Prohibit. And finally, the win condition is going to be some man lands with Mishra's Factory and Fairy Conclave, and a couple of copies of Decree of Justice. This is how we're going to end up the game. We also have access to some nice, very clean mana. Actually, we have 17 blue sources and 13 white sources, and that should be enough to accommodate all of our needs, and then a couple of Dust Bowls to further utilize that land destruction package. So we have Dust Bowls going on alongside Parallax Tide, which should be pretty powerful at basically not allowing our opponents to do their thing, hopefully. In the sideboard, we have some extra removal. We have another copy of Wrath of God. We have Aura of Silence as a way to remove enchantments and artifacts. We also have some annuls. We very much respect the enchantments and artifacts in this format. A Secret Protection Red, mostly against the red decks. That is Goblins, that is Sly. I'm honestly not sure if this card should even be in the deck. Maybe I should just have access to the 4th Wrath or something like that, but yeah, that's what I'm going for. The third copy of Decree of Justice is there for the control matchups, for a little bit grindier matchups where the tokens can actually add up to, a lot. Hydroblast and Blue Elemental Blast. This is another one of the reasons why maybe I should not have Secret Protection Red in the deck, but c'est la vie. That's how it goes. Sometimes you just submit a deck and then you think about it and you're like, maybe I shouldn't be doing that, and you actually, maybe you should. So Nurod as a one-off, couple of Cursed Totems, because Elves is still a very problematic matchup for this kind of deck. And Phyrexian Furnace and Tormod's Crypt as ways to fight graveyard strategies of different graveyard strategies. That's the deck we're going to be playing. First time playing a blue-white control deck in the format, so I don't know how it's going to go. Hopefully it goes well. If you're enjoying the content, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And if you would like to support my content, there are a variety of ways that you can go about it. The free ways to do it are by, if you are using TCG Player or Mana Traders, you can support the content for free while you just do business with them on their website by using the links on the description of the video down below. And you will also find there a 10% discount for Mana Traders on your first 2 months if that's something that you were interested in using. And then you can also join my Patreon. You can also make direct donations through PayPal, or if you're interested in coaching sessions, I also offer that if that's something you would want to try out. That's it for the deck. Let's see you for round number 1. Okay, round number 1. This hand looks fine. Let's keep it. We could be playing against Terrageddon here. That's what XeRocks has been playing lately. And I think I'm gonna be plowing this mom. Bye, mom. See you later. All right. Yeah, that mom may or may not be. If I had a Wrath, obviously, I'm just gonna let the ma'am hang out for a while. But ooh, playing against some fellow white deck player. All right, melee mage. What's my opponent gonna name over there? Fire Action Dreadnought. Got him. We got him, folks. We got him. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Oh, the mind games are strong. The mind games are strong. I wonder if Nox is playing the deck that I played the other day. That may be the case. Maybe I should have let that resolve just so I can parallax tide away all of the lands. Because if they are the ones who had the tithe, I'm gonna be question mark tithe, yay or nay? That looks like a tithe. Ooh, Battle Screech. Okay, so my opponent's playing a different deck, so we're good then. Actually, am I trading? Ooh, no. Okay, so we kind of have to find a Wrath quick-ish. So the good thing is we're gonna get to Foff here, and Foffing is good. So we have the mana that we need. Divine Sacrament. That's messed up. Okay, that's a lot of power. Oh, melee mage. Yeah, I don't think mage can get in there. Wow, it is gonna get in there. I mean, I have to take it though. 2, 4, 6, 8, 11. So we got a 6, but we have to find a Wrath. So we just kind of have to go for it. So Wrath or bust. None of that is a Wrath. None of that is a Wrath. Okay, so I'm gonna keep this pile. I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, we have to find specifically Wrath off the top. Seal of Cleansing. Does that give me enough time? I think that actually may give me enough time. So we play that, and I play Seal of Cleansing, and that blows up the Sacrament, and then I only take 4, and then I can block with Factory. So I'm technically not dead. We have one more look at a Wrath, and next turn we also get to Impulse into it. Interesting. Well, I mean, maybe they have Plow. Maybe that's why. Abolish, dude. Abolish. Yeah, I guess that's lethal. That is exactly lethal. I'm just gonna look. Okay, I'm gonna look to see if we were gonna get there. We were not gonna get there. All right, so we're playing against the Weenie deck. So we want another Wrath. I think that's kind of it. We just want all Wraths all the time. Does Humility matter? Like, kind of feels like Humility is just the same card. If I play, like, Humility just makes my opponent's 1/1s into 1/1s. So, I mean, I guess I can block them with Decree tokens, so that's better. I saw Mom, so I won't Plows. I'm not super high on the Tithe package. Curse Totem only stops Mom. I'm not super high on it. Do we care about Annul? I don't think so. I don't think we care about the Annul. Also don't care too much about... I guess it could tag a fetch land or whatever. It's probably better than the Tithe. I think we go with this. The fun of Parallax Tide. For the tempo place. Tempo. Okay, we're on the play. Sounds great. Keep it. So I guess we're gonna go turn 1 Flooded Strand. Because we could find Counterspell. Maybe I should have fetched main phase to instill the fear. Black Vice. Okay. So I guess the plan is for them to, like, not make plays. And I slowly die. Good thing is I have land drops. Also, my deck is filled with Weathered Wayfarer. Okay. So I'm just gonna fetch for an island here. Plow this now. It means 1 less damage. I like that. Do I want to play with the Factory? I don't think so. Don't think I want to play with the Factory just yet. I may cycle this Decree. Oh, they missed land drop. Huh. Okay, I think I'm gonna cycle this decree. We're not gonna get any tokens out of the deal. Darker Wastes. There's a land. Pass the turn. And even in the face of the Black Vice, I think I'm still gonna FOF here. Okay, so my opponent's gonna be, they're not gonna have any more mana problems, but I think this is still fine. Okay, so fetch. Let's see. I'm just gonna counter there. Uses my mana. Destroy my land. It's kind of aggressive. I like it. Source to Plowshares. Yep. So now we are under the Vice, which is nice. So now Black Vice doesn't really do anything. My opponent doesn't have that many lands. I wonder if they name Factor Fiction here. That would be some sick read. Although I could have fought the last turn and I didn't, so maybe my opponent doesn't think about it. Yeah, so you just name Source to Plowshares. I think I play out the land, say go. Black Vice is such an interesting card in this kind of deck, in this kind of matchup in particular. Sure, there's no way that they name FOF, they're just gonna name Wrath of God. So that is really good protection. Opponent plays around they play around the removal. The cycled, what's his name? Decree. So I can just get another FOF, or I can get Seal of Cleansing. I think I'm gonna go for Seal of Cleansing here. It allows me to like play out a factory. We take 2, but now I go factory, 1, 2, seal to turn back, and now we have both factory and counterspell. Also, we're down to a single Source to Plowshares. We have gone through. We used 2, and one of them discarded by the Wasteland is annoying. Wasteland's very annoying. That was a really good draw for them. That Wasteland was extremely good. Quiet Speculation here is actually a fantastic card for them. Wow, that Savannah Alliance is going to beat me down so badly. I really need to find exactly Decree, I guess. If I find Decree, I probably just win the game. But I really need to find it. Like, I don't really have that much time. Like, this is a very, very quick clock. These draws have not been working out. Maybe I should have taken the FOF, actually. And hold on to the Source to Plowshares, just in case. So here, I think my opponent's going to attack. Oh, just with this Savannah Alliance? Okay. Interesting. Well, now they're going to attack next turn because it just represents lethal. Is there anything I can draw? Humility. So I guess I'm going to main phase Impulse here. Oh, there's the Humility. So I guess we're playing that. So now I'm on a 2-turn clock. The good thing is now if we draw a Wrath, we can actually cast it. Armageddon. Yep, GG's. That was great. Yeah, Armageddon seems pretty good versus my deck. I can see that, yeah. Oh man, we're gonna get there. All right, that was cool. That was fun. See you next round. All right, we're playing round number 3 versus Will Hurst. And this seems like a fine hand. Island into pass. Here's an island. I think I am interested in... So Will is known for playing Stasis. So I think what I'm going to try to do here is I'm going to try to hide what I'm doing. So I'm just going to pass it back and I'm going to AK on his end step. And then we'll see how it goes. So there's AK. Source of Plowshares is a blank. Play a land. Pass the turn back. Okay, pass it again. Just going to AK once again. Okay, some blue mana is not bad. Some blue mana is not bad. So let's play out the Seal of Cleansing. I imagine he's going to counter this. I don't love just, you know, jamming here. Arcane Denial. So now we're going to draw 2 here. It looks like we are playing against Stasis. Good, we found the counter. Passing the turn back. Let's play a land, I guess. I'm not going to be turning the corner for a while, I don't think. So here we can discard Plow and Wrath. Move on to the next turn. I think I'm going to cycle Decree on end step. He goes for Standstill. Okay, so now we just cycle Decree. Yep, make 2 dudes. Draw a Factory. All right, it's looking good. So now he's gonna have to crack his own Standstill. I am very surprised that he just slammed the Standstill in the face of open mana. Seems a little bit greedy in my opinion even. Although I guess he's not sure what I'm playing either, so. I think I'm going to activate. What I'm not gonna do is I'm not gonna pump, because I want to play around stuff like Daze and whatnot. So the 1 extra point I don't think just yet adds to my clock. But now right here we have potentially answer to counterspell plus mana leak through a Daze. And I think that he's gonna be forced into cracking his own Standstill eventually. There we go. Draw a bunch of cards. And now we get to fight over this. So let's counterspell. It's gonna thwart here. Okay. Alright. Alright. Now we go to our turn. Play a land. Seal of Cleansing. I imagine he's gonna have to counter this. Maybe I was not supposed to do this just yet. I kind of want to force him to do stuff. Okay, that's fine. So now I guess we have to like naturally find something here. I'm gonna discard Coastal Tower because it enters that. So he has some islands. He's got some stuff going on. Chain of Vapor has been exiled. He pays upkeep, and we know he at least has 3 islands in hand. So play a land. Say go. So this is gonna cost him 1 land every single turn. Pays upkeep. Place another land. Claws of Gix. Interesting. So I guess that's like a way to reset. I guess that's really mostly just a way to reset. So he can just sacrifice Stasis whenever he wants. Passing the turn back. So many passings of the turn. Now we have a counter spell. So we have a little bit of business. Unfortunately, we did find, like every time that we draw one of these Source of Plowshares, bad for us. We've been hitting a healthy amount of land drops, which is good. He's just developing his mana. Ursa's Bauble. Okay, passing the turn back. Untap. Another island. Don't mind if I do. We still have 1 plains and I think 3 islands to go fetch. So we do have an okay amount of sources. He does crack the Bauble, revealing the counter spell. Like the only card that matters. Claws of Gix is actually quite interesting in the Stasis deck. Because they have to... Another Bauble. Claws of Gix is really interesting. Because it's a way that they can crack a Stasis on my end step. And I'm not cracking my Flooded Strands because I have already enough stuff to... Okay, Tithe has been shown. I already have like enough fetchable lands still. If I draw 1 more basic, I guess I'm going to be forced to crack because I'm going to run out of fetchables potentially otherwise. But as of right now, I actively want to have more lands in my deck. Okay, so he continues hitting land drops, which is bad for us. Stifle. Huh. I wonder what we can do with that Stifle. I wonder if there's anything... Huh. So if he Chain of Vapors here, if I counter, he can still sack it. He sacks it and he has a second one. That's the plan. Can I beat that though? I probably can't. But at least I just force him to use his mana on his turn. So I guess that's fine. Ooh, I can stifle the Forsaken City thing. That's interesting. So now we attempt to counter the Stasis. And he hopefully needs to tap some extra mana in order to protect this Stasis. Okay, so he counters back. And now we play the same game again. Black Vice. Okay, so that's the win condition. That is the win condition. So now we take, what, 2? Parallax Tide. Okay, so let's fetch. I think we need to actually do something here, unfortunately. So let's accumulate knowledge for 3. Well, those are not great. Those are not very good. Okay, so let's discard Wrath and Source of Plowshares. Those are not particularly fantastic. I really was wishing to find another seal. I really wanted to find like another land. Any of those would have been great. If he plays that game a little bit too risky, we can blow them out with the Stifle for sure. Also, we can, like, you know, a lethal Black Vice trigger, we can actually Stifle as well. Something to keep in mind. Discard Source of Plowshares. Let's get a little bit greedy. Ah, damn it. Okay, so we're gonna take 3. Looking for another land. Okay, that's a land. We have a tiny bit of time still. Impulse has been exiled. Found another land. So we have to find seal these or the next draw. We don't really have that much time left. That's not enough. Okay, that's rough. So I guess I have to draw seal off the top here. Okay. All right, seal 1 time. Seal of Cleansing. I guess I technically have 1 more draw. Technically 1 more draw. I can stifle the 1 Black Vice trigger. Stifle effectively Healing Salve. Impulse pitched. Okay. Pretty unfortunate, honestly. Pretty unfortunate that we did not find more seals. We did not find... We had a decent amount of cards that we could have found. That's a card. Days. Well, I'm gonna pay 1. Now he counters. He has triple days. Because if I do get to untap, I do get to like impulse into counter my own impulse. And that's gonna keep me below Black Vice trigger. Okay, that's gonna be exactly enough. Okay. Yeah, without mana, we're dead. Alright, so let's cut all of these terrible cards that we just happened to draw. And Annul seems good. Aura of Silence seems fine. Wrath, Humility out. Decree of Justice in. These are bad, these are bad. And I guess Phyrexian Furnace. Damn, these are really bad, huh? We have to have 2 unplayable cards in our deck. I guess Null Rod stops... What's his name? It stops the Gix thing and on Bubbles. Mishra's Bubbles. Or Ursa's Bubbles, sorry. And I guess I'm just stuck with a single Source of Plowshares. Alright, let's be on the play. And let's have... Dude. Oh, you love to see it. The 1 dead card in the 60 in the opening hand. I mean, this is still a fine 6-card hand, so like I'm gonna keep it anyway. But I just find it very funny. All right, AK on end step. A Darker Wastes. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. Okay, so he continues hitting land drops. Okay, looking okay here. Looking semi-decent. And I'm not gonna, I mean, there's just no need for me to do anything just yet. No need for me to FOF. I like to, although I guess I can't really get punished. The problem is there's no need for me to go to discard just yet. So we can just play, just keep on passing the turn. Okay. So we can try to pick a fight over that. I'm gonna FOF on end step, and then I'm gonna try to pick a fight over the Seal of Cleansing. Okay, so end step, FOF. Let's see what he gives me. Lands versus Decree plus AK. I think I'm gonna keep the lands actually. Hitting land drop seems sick. Let's play a Darker Wastes. I'm just gonna, I guess I might as well fetch here. And I'm going to play the Seal. Okay, that's fine. Pass it back. Take it easy here. Forsaken City. We can blow it up. Black Vice. I think I counterspell, but that's it. No, he just lets it go. Interesting. Okay. Very interesting. I think I'm gonna play out the Hour of Silence here. 1, 2, 3. Aura. Resolves. Okay. One thing that's interesting is I can stack my Flooded Strand to the Dust Bowl. That's okay. This also makes Stasis kind of awkward. Alright. Untap. Say go. There's no need for me to do anything with this Dust Bowl just yet, I don't think. Gosh. Sure, that's fine. He's gonna go to this card here. Unless he chooses to fight. Seems unlikely though. Chain of Vapor. Okay. Counterspell. A Thwart here. Now he's really gonna go to this card if he thwarts. Sure. That's fine. That resolves. This Black Vice is kind of not really doing anything here. This is an interesting fight, actually. He knows that I'm able to drop one of these cards, and now I can actually force it with Mana Leak. Force it through with Mana Leak, so I can basically blank this Black Vice. He already played his land drop. Brain Freeze for 5. Interesting. Okay. What is this, 15 cards? 18. Okay. Does he have another one, is the question. Because I can raise this. If he has another one, I'm going to be in trouble. But if that's it, that is 2 decrees gone. So I guess I'm going to have to win with factories now, which is a lot less convenient. Okay. Also, Tithe resets my stuff, which is nice. So, does this even have a fetchable anymore? So I don't have any more fetchable islands, and I do have fetchable plains. So, Aura of Silence. That resolved. Okay. I guess I'm gonna go Tithe. This actually is good to reset my own lands under Stasis, which is nice. So Black Vice doesn't do anything anymore. My opponent's win condition is just milling me at this point, I think. And he plays out the land, which is interesting. Okay. We untap. We're gonna have one fading counter go. That's fine. AK is not great. 1, 2, 1, 2. Swing for 4. This is a 5-turn clock. So if he plays another land, I'm just gonna blow up the Forsaken City and then tithe all of his mana. He can potentially gush in response, but doesn't exile the land. So now 1, 2, 3. Blow up city, sacrificing island. Now I think we go to upkeep. I guess he didn't play any spells here, so let's just do this now. Exile. Oh, I forgot. Well, I messed it up. Forgot to hold control. So now he's gonna get one island back, unfortunately. That sucks. That's a huge deal. That's a huge deal. I'm gonna AK here. I think I need the cards, actually. We still have a plains to look for, so that's fine. That's good. It's very, very good. That really speeds up the clock. Man, it would be so much better if my opponent only had one single island. Actually, no islands at all. Never mind. Would have been so much better. Okay, so cycle for 1, 2, 3, 4. He concedes. All right, we managed to get there. here. So that sideboard plan is terrifying. that sideboard plan is absolutely terrifying. Can we do anything about it? Not really. Yep. Just have to hope that it doesn't come together for him, which doesn't seem extremely likely. Okay, keep this. Play an island. Here's an island. Can we please hit land drops? That's the name of the game here. Would love to hit some nice and sexy land drops. Okay, that's not the absolute worst. It's not great, but it's not the absolute worst. Ugly impulse art. Actually, I looked, and the real, like the good impulse art is like almost 2 tickets on MTGO, which I think it's kind of ridiculous. So I do respect the ugly impulse art. I know it's not bad. Ugh, it's ugly. Don't love the basic plains there instead of a basic island. Would have certainly loved a basic island. Oof, dodge there. So I think I'm going to cycle Decree on this end step. Generally I can FOF, but I think I'm just gonna cycle Decree instead. Just put a random 1/1 in there. Okay, yeah, make a dude. Little tiny dude. Alright, swing for 1. Pass it back. I'm gonna FOF on end step, I think. And right here. Here's Factor Fiction. Definitely to be hitting them land drops. Oh yes, good thing I found that beautiful Swords to Plowshares. How was I supposed to win without my Swords to Plowshares? I think I'm just going to get whatever has lands in it. I think I value the blue source higher for 1. And I think I'm gonna play out the Seal. No, that's fine. Okay. Now we discard Swords to Plowshares. I think I'm gonna FOF again on end step. I could AK instead, but FOF is just more mana effective. Ooh, this is a good FOF. Yes, 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 yes. Give me those lands. All lands versus Seal. Yeah, we're gonna take the lands. So, blue source, Aura of Silence. He has to counter this. I could have, like, thrown 1 card in there, but I think untapping is good. I think I'm gonna discard the Tide and one of these Dust Bowls. Maybe I should be discarding the AK. Stasis. Annul? Thwart. Dude, Thwart is so brutal. Okay. There goes the Stasis. Thwart is so devastating. At least as long as there's no win con, we can kind of continue hitting land drops. He also doesn't have the land, so he needs to continue just playing actual islands. But we're gonna need to get pretty lucky with enough Dust Bowl. Pass it back. And we know that he has a bunch of because of the Thwart that he cast earlier. But we are hitting some land drops, which is great. Man, I honestly don't understand people that say that they hate this matchup. Oh, I hate Stasis. Like, it just sucks. It's like, this is so interesting to me. This is so freaking interesting. To be fair, this is interesting to play. I don't know how interesting it is to watch. I guess I have to make the clarification there. I think this is extremely interesting to play. Not sure how actually interesting it is to watch. Gush. Gush is rough. Gush is rough for sure. Okay, place land. Goes to discard. Discards these. We keep on hitting land drops. Love it. Love it. Man, boy, does it feel good to hit them land drops. Forsaken City. Okay, so that kind of needs to be destroyed. Boomerang on end step. I think we counterspell. He has another Thwart that's pretty brutal. Chain of Vapor. Now we Mana Leak. If he has another one, we get owned. Dude. We're 1 counterspell short. Ugh, that's devastating. It's absolutely devastating. Okay. Got me. Not much we can do about that. Not much we can do about that. He's got 8 islands and the Stasis come back. He also has the Black Vice. I think that does it, unfortunately for us. Man, that's... yeah. If we had 1 more blue source. And I was very careful with my blue sources too. I was very, very careful with my blue sources, just to make sure that I have always the most amount of blue sources untapped, but I think I picked the right fights. I think the way I played the game was fine. 2 Phyrexian Furnace. I like how it's just like a card that I can just take out of my hand. Exiling Stasis. He's got so much islands, dude. He's got so much lands. Tap. Take 2. Ugh, that's brutal. So at this point, I think we're dead. Taking 3 here. Yeah, I just drew the cards in the wrong order, I think. I just drew my cards in the wrong order. I was supposed to draw them in the proper order. Which is find the counter spells before I find like the other stuff. But yeah, the white sources got me good. I think that if we had had access to the counter spell, we were somewhat likely to win that counter war. Yeah, we're past the point of no return, I think. Ooh, well, I should have countered that, obviously. Discard Tide. I really doubt that Will has made a mistake, so I'm going to assume that Brain Freeze entered the exile zone. I'm going to assume that he has at least one counter. Mana short. Huh. Because I'm going to have my Flooded Strand tapped. Because my Flooded Strand is tapped now. That sucks. Okay, take 3. Ugh. It's funny because like it feels like it's so close, right? It feels like we're like 1 piece too short or something like that. He only has like down to 2 cards, right? Like it really feels like it's very, very close. It's possible that it wasn't. It's possible that he was like way, way ahead and he has this in, he had this way under control, but it really feels like it's close. All right. GG's, Will. Well played. All right, round number 4. 2 and 3 is the goal here. 2 and 3 is the goal. I think I'd rather go turn 1 island. Not sure what I'm playing against. McLean has been playing different decks lately. Mom. Okay. Okay. So we're going to cycle AK on end step. And we're going to be digging towards this Wrath of God. Snow-covered island. Okay. Mom gets in there. All right. I respect it. I do respect it. Draw a card. Prohibit. Not bad. Not bad. It's a good card. All right. We got seals. We got seals. That's good. I think if he doesn't play anything that I want to counter, I'm probably going to cycle Decree just to hit my land drop. Divine Sacrament. That's fine. We can actually get rid of that seal. Yeah, I don't think you want to offer it. Just cycle. 3 mana, draw a card. No big deal. Land. Perfect. Love to see it. Love to see it. Let's play Seal of Cleansing and pass the turn back. So now we have Prohibit up. We can counter something annoying like a Meddling Mage. Armageddon could be a problem. So I really want to watch out for something like that. Wait, what? Does he have a plow? I'm going to take the hit. It's a good attack. Dromar's Cavern. Love to see these lands. Huge fan. Is this Armageddon? It is Armageddon. Oh, Battle Screech. Oh, Battle Screech is fine. Land? Ooh. I can Armageddon them? I kind of want to. The problem is I know that he has a land, which is kind of awkward. So I think I'm just going to pass it back. He has not missed a single land drop. We can prohibit an Armageddon here. I am gonna blow up the Sacrament because it's just way too much damage otherwise. All right, Mom's staying back to block, which is interesting. Holding onto a land, very interesting. All right, let's see how he wants to split this. Counter spells, like spells versus lands. It's actually a pretty smart split. He already knows that I missed a land drop. I'm gonna choose pile 2. I think lands are gonna be maybe 2 imps a land. Play another seal and pass it back. We have Prohibit. We have Factory to block if we need to. Next turn we're gonna be able to Wrath Swing for 4, that's fine. I'm gonna get to impulse on end step here, which is kind of nice. All right. Feels like we're both like extremely scared of an Armageddon. We're both terrified of an Armageddon. Okay, I'm just gonna take planes here. And I think I can take the turn to Armageddon and then do the thing. So let's do blue, blue, 1, 1. Parallax Tide. We're gonna do this on his up. Go to upkeep, hold control, take that one, that one, and for good measure, the Seal of Cleansing. So no more lands. I guess I should have held on to. I guess there's nothing that he can play mana that I'm scared of, so this is fine. We're just gonna take what 5 here. I guess not, because we can use Factory to block, which is nice. I guess that allows him to plow the Factory, which I kind of don't want to, so that's fine. Just take 4. We're gonna have 6. We're gonna have 7 lands, and now we get to 1, 2. Never flash back the Battle Screech, which is interesting. Next turn we're gonna Dust Bowl the City of Brass. So whatever he plays this turn we can counter. Next turn we Dust Bowl plus FOF. Factory. We're definitely going after the City of Brass. Prohibit. Play Dust Bowl. That up. 4. Sack of Plains. And then we just pass it back here. We get to FOF on end step. Another city. Ramosian Sergeant. Interesting card. Here's a FOF. It's a good FOF. I mean, if I get to destroy all of his lands, it doesn't matter that he's going to, right? Play that out. Do that 1, 2, 3. Suck my Flood Strand. That's the turn. So he can't attack here because I have a 2/2 to block. Now we impulse on end step. Counter spell's nice. I think we're good here. Play an island. Dust Bowl there. Could attack. No need to. And we already have him in a 4-turn clock, 5-turn clock. No, 4-turn clock because Tireless Tribe. I guess this is a castable spell, so we just counter it. Sure. 2. Blow that up. Yep. Just keep on chilling here. Alright. He's off it. Hey, we won. We did win. Love to see it. Alright, so Wrath of God seems good. I'm also very, very, truly terrified of the card Armageddon. So, yeah. just that. Terrified of Armageddon. Curse Totem is interesting. It stops Ramosian something. It stops Mom. It stops... The problem is... I'm just kind of getting beaten down by 1/1s. And that sucks. I think I'm going to cut a couple of Tides. 1 Stifle and bringing in 1 Curse. I think this is a fine setup. Okay, we got a Wrath. We got some card advantage. We got Source of Blushes. I think I'm going to keep. It's going to be close. Ramosian Sergeant. I think that's fine. Ramosian Sergeant with Gemstone Mine seems a little bit sketchy. But a melee mage here could be Tireless Tribe ×2. Okay, it's a lot of 1/1s. Alright, that's Source of Plowshares. Do they have the Dromar's Cavern? Because that would be sick. I'm very interested in hidden land drops here, so just gonna take the 2 here. And I'm going to attempt to AK. Interesting. So I guess he intends on activating Ramosian land. Perfect. Okay, let's see what Sergeant is gonna get. So I honestly don't even know what he may have as one-offs in his... Okay. Sergeant has been activated. Whipcorder. Sure. Another gemstone. Okay. Humility actually not looking super awesome, to be honest. Okay. Take 3. That's fine. Humility's not looking crazy good, to be honest. Another tile. Okay. Is he playing any form of counter magic? That's brutal. Okay. So I don't know if I'm going to get to untap, so I have to actually do this now. Because I don't know if I'm actually going to hit my land drop. Obviously I did. And I'm gonna slam this Wrath. It's possible that he could have some form of counter magic, but I feel like I just have to do it. He could have Armageddon, but like it doesn't really do anything if we are at parity and we actually have double Swords to Plowshare. So if we're gonna get Armageddon, this is like a board state where I don't mind that much getting Armageddon. Ooh, Factory, feeling frisky. Factory, feeling frisky. Yeah, that one's gonna have to go. Get out of here, you. Get out of here, you. Tears. Seal of Cleansing. Send it back. I think we're looking good here. We're looking like we may get a match after all. Counterspell is nice. Let's play Cleansing number 2. Should be back. And this counterspell kind of has Armageddon's name written all over it. Yeah, the Drogo game. Huge fan. Huge fan of the Drogo game. Maybe I should have played Curse Totem there. Savannah Alliance. Yeah, that's fine. We can actually block that with Factory. My opponent can even pump my own Factory if they want to. So I actually, now that I think about it, I should not play Curse Totem because I want to be able to pump my own Factory. And I won't be able to with a Curse Totem in play. Block. No attacks. Coward. Okay, that's great. Now that's some painless mana for this counterspell. And eventually we'll find another AK or Factor Fiction. And we should be able to bring it home from there. We also have a Singleton Parallax Tide, which should be pretty sexy. The Seal of Cleansings. Decree. Don't mind if I do. No, we can actually start pressuring, which is great. Mom. Yeah, that's fine. Plow it here. So, Cycle, Decree, pay 3. Make some dudes. Draw land. Everything's great. Kill the mom. Play my land. Going for a bunch. I could also just go for Humility at some point. The good thing about all of this is that there's just so many things that I can do, but I don't really have to do any of them. Melee Mage is probably the card that I'm going to have to counter. Quiet Speculation. Yeah, I think that's actually, putting up Cabal Therapy. If I get Armageddon here, how bad is it? Actually not super bad, so this is fine, I think. The reason it's not that bad is because we're at least hitting our first land drop and we're actually ahead on board. Because my opponent has a 2-1 and we have 3 1-1s. So send in the little dudes. And I think I'm playing Humility now. Yes. Yes, I'm playing. Because Factory can still block the Savannah Alliance. So now, annul. Okay, that's fine. Yep, that's okay, whatever. I was gonna say, like, then Mom wouldn't matter. The problem is now, I guess, does Meddling Mage matter? Not even sure if it does. Because I have Factories and my opponent does not. Also, I can start swinging with Fairy Conclave. Okay. So I guess we're gonna start swinging next turn. This turn I'm interested in pulling up all of my mana so I can FOF plus do stuff. But next turn we can start doing some things. Can do some stuff and some things. Okay. End step. He can't split like this, right? I think wherever the Mana Leak goes, that's the pile that I'm keeping. Mana Leak is the best card here by a wide margin. Because again, like Armageddon is kind of like the only card that I'm scared of. Oh, well, that's game. That looks like game, folks. I guess my opponent could have another annul. I still think it's worth going for it. Another annul. I think I'm gonna fight over this. Mostly because I can. Obviously, if they have another annul. But we still have Mana Leak for my opponent's, what's his name, right? For their Armageddon. Alright, Tide gets there. 3 and 1. 1 and 3, sorry. Okay, here we are for the last round. Okay, this seems fine. We have Seal, we have double counterspell. We're gonna need another blue source. But it should be fine. The question is, do I want to... Do I want to play around the card Stifle specifically? Because if my opponent has Stifle, if my opponent does have Stifle, we're gonna get got real bad. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right, basic swamp. That's not the word. Okay, Impulse is not terrible. Impulse is not terrible. Can help me find that blue source. Baron more cycled. Okay. Okay. Let's fetch on end step, and I'm just gonna Impulse. Get that island. Cast Impulse. Okay, we're gonna get the Adarkar Wastes. The only land in that pile. And then play land and pass the turn back. There's no need for us to do anything, really. So we're just going to take it slow. I guess we're playing against, how are people calling it? Rock. I'm just gonna let that go. XeRocks. XeRocks. It's a pretty funny name, which is the version that plays like Barrymore and like Phyrexian Rager. It's a good duress for sure, but I think because my opponent is very incentivized to name Counterspell, I think if they had Cabal Therapy, I would have maybe counterspelled it. Green source. Okay. So now, AK, it's not bad. I'm just going to play out the Seal of Cleansing. If my opponent has a Naturalize, that's fine, whatever. They get to cash it in. But we just play the Seal of Cleansing, it just sits there. There were wastes. Do I counter a Phyrexian Rage? I think I do. Just so I don't have to deal with the 2-2. My best draw would be Parallax Tide, I think. Cabal Therapy. Yeah, my opponent's gonna name Counterspell, but it's fine. Like, this is just a 1-for-1 regardless. If they go name... If they do indeed have Phyrexian Rager, this is actually really good for my opponent. Because they're gonna name Counterspell here. Then they're going to play Rager, then flashback. Because I cannot prohibit the Rager. Pernicious Deed. Okay, that's fine. Deed is fine. We can deal with it whenever we please. Gonna cycle AK. Okay. So I think we just passed the turn back. We can blow up that Deed whenever we want to, which is nice. We're gonna prohibit with Kicker here. Okay. So we really need to find something like a FOF, Parallax Tide. Those are gonna be our best draws. Untap. AK. Okay, it's not bad. It's AK for 2. Play Dust Bowl. And I guess that I'm bowling one of these wastes as they turn back. Wall of Blossoms. Okay. The good thing is at this point, the Cabal Therapy doesn't really do that much. Like, it's fine, but it's not that big of a deal. Because it's just gonna get the Seal of Cleanse. It's the only known card by my opponent. Unless they have another one. If they have another one, that could be a problem. Although I guess, again, it doesn't do anything. Like, this is just a... we are just in a Fact or Fiction waiting room right here. It's a good draw. That's a very good draw. AK for 3. Nice. Okay, so I guess we upkeep. Hopefully my opponent does not have another Cabal Therapy. Is my opponent going to crack here? Looks like they are. Okay. So they cracked. Dust Bowl that. Send it back. We do have the mana advantage here. Rager. It's pretty good. Pretty good for sure. It's a good draw. That's a really good draw. So let's play Flooded Strand. I think I'm going to fetch for a basic Plains. And I'm going to send it back. Still no need to do anything with this Rager. So we're going to take 2. No need to mess around with it. I don't think I care about the Deed. So we're just going to let that go. And now we're going to end step FOF. Alright. Those are good cards. Those are pretty good cards. Interesting split. I think I'm going to choose the FOF. And I think now I'm going to plow the Rager. Mostly so I can use my mana, keep the board clear. Play an island. Send it back. We're down 1 tide, but it doesn't really matter that much, really. 3 mana. I guess another Rager. Oh, Cycle Crows and Tusker. That's fine. Reveal in a basic forest. Play Treetop. Interesting. Well, here is Fact or Fiction, which my opponent knew about. Decree versus Lance. I think I'm gonna take Lance. It's not bad, but I'm gonna wait on that until I have a way to blow up the deed, or to stifle, I guess, would be what I'm looking for. Play Factory, say go. Maybe I should have blown up the Treetop. Opponent knows about Wrath. They don't know about Swords to Plowshares. Okay. Gonna Dust Bowl the Treetop, sacrificing an item. Untap. AK. It's pretty good. Am I taking a bunch here? Or do I just Wrath? Because I can just Wrath and move on. The problem is I kind of want to exile the Deranged Hermit. The problem is I'm going to have to Wrath the tokens anyway. So, yeah, let's go with that. Now pass the turn. We're going to AK on end step. But yeah, I would have definitely liked to exile the Deranged Hermit to stop the engine. Here I'm going to let the Therapy resolve. I don't think... if my opponent names Accumulating Knowledge, they're a master. The card to name here is probably Counterspell, I think. Fact or Fiction. It's not the one. The good thing is, like, if they have Rager or they have anything like that, I can plow it with the trigger on the stack, which is pretty nice. So here, AK on end step. Hopefully we find Stifle. Those are good cards. Those are some pretty good cards. Untap. That's a Wrath. So we got 9 cards in hand. So I think we're just gonna send the Factory, start clocking here. The idea here, of course, to force my opponent to crack the deed. Vendetta. I could cash in a Counterspell there, but I don't think I have to. I do have to be a little bit mindful of running out of threats. So I'm gonna need to find an answer to Pernicious Deed before we go any further. 5 mana for Hermit. Just Counterspell. Particularly because of the Cabal Therapy thing. So now we fall. And I'm hoping that we can have a big turn now. Right, we have Seal of Cleansing, we have Parallax Tide now. And if we keep this, we get rid of... We're actually down 2 seals, so I think I have to keep the Seal of Cleansing here instead of the other ones. It's not a bad draw. So let's go play Seal. 1, 2, 3, 4. Play Tithe. Exile that. Exile that. Exile that. Exile that. Thanks in my Tithe. So now we blow up 5 of my opponent's lands. Play Fairy Conclave. Pass. So we do need to find access to Stifle or anything like that before we actually close out this game. So that's a little bit awkward. Swing for 2. So we're going to put on some pressure with this Fairy Conclave. And then whenever we can, we're going to cycle Decree. That's not bad. Swing for 2. There's a Stifle in those last 10 cards. There's 2 Stifles in those last 10 cards. And there's another Seal. So either one of those draws should be enough to close the game. Either one of those should be enough. So here my opponent can use a removal spell. And we're probably going to have to mana leak it, which is kind of awkward. Particularly if my opponent finds another land and then they actually have another deed in hand. That's going to be particularly awkward. Humility. It's not very good. I think we pass it back here. I don't want to enable my opponent's removal spells. I really have to get rid of that deed somehow. Man. There's 1 Seal and 2 Stifles in the last 7 cards of my deck. Pretty brutal. Cabal Therapy. Let's see if my opponent has like this sick read and they just name Decree here. That would be really sick. If they name Decree here, that would be crazy. It's probably better to name... Wow, they named Decree. Did they know about the Decree? Oh, I guess they knew about the Decree. Okay. So now we actually have to find Stifle right now. Wow, I didn't. Wow, I'm just gonna deck. I'm literally just going to deck now. I'm out of win conditions. I mean, my opponent doesn't know it, so maybe they won't crack Pernicious Deed here. But they do. Wow, that's insane. I'm out of win conditions now. So I'm just gonna deck myself. This is crazy. I can't believe that how this game turned out. This is a crazy game. Right on time. Right on time. All right. Wow, that was kind of ridiculous, honestly. So decree number 3 is good. I think I want annul seems reasonable. Humility seems okay. Then I guess Wrath is fine as 2 copies. No, I mean, I'm honestly just mind blown. My opponent played it extremely, extremely well. I'm just really, really mind blown that that I just did not find Stifle in so many turns. I think annuls are fine, actually. I do think the Tithe game plan is good. I guess Humility is kind of medium. It's probably fine. It's better than the second Wrath, probably. And I guess I don't want Source to Plowshares. Keep this. Wow, what a crazy game. Really well navigated by my opponent. Really taking care of the stuff that needed to be taken care of, and then navigating the game in such a way that they put me in an awkward spot. They mull to 5 here. Turn 1 Forest. I think I want to play out the Seal here. It uses my mana effectively, plays around the potential Cabal Therapy. Well, if Blossoms is good, play land, send it back. So we can Tithe if we want to here. Cabal Therapy. I imagine they're gonna name Foff. It's probably the right thing to name here. Counterspell would be the other thing if they're trying to resolve something good. Or Tithe, yeah, that's also good. All of those are just fine things to name. And I imagine, like, I would definitely just take the Flashback right now. Take the Flashback right now, get rid of the Factor Fiction, move on. So this is a mull to 5, but an absolutely fantastic start for my opponent. Alright, there goes the Foff. Land. So now we get to cycle AK on end step. Parallax Tide has been found anyway. I mean, I'm just gonna play Coastal Tower and pass it back. I don't think there's any reason for me to do anything here, and I think if I can get rid of 4 lands, I'm going to cash in the Tithe. But for only 3, feels like a little bit above value. Now that they tapped out, now we can go for Tithe. Tithe 1, 4. Seal of Cleansing the Tithe. I guess I could have actually reset my island. No, that's not true. That's not how that works. Never mind. Take 4. Okay, I do have a land. I think I'm going to prioritize getting rid of the land. No, but that costs me my own land. I think I'm going to Impulse, just main face. Can Impulse for island? No, okay. Now we just cash in the Wrath, and then we decree next turn. Opponent gains 4, that's fine. They're down to 3 cards and 1 land versus... Okay, we can just Dust Bowl that. And I think I'm going to do that right now. Sacrificing a Darker Wastes. Get rid of that. I think I'm on the LD plan. Duress. That's a brutal draw. Okay. I mean, I think I'm going to blow up the other land too. AK is great. So let's AK. That's for 2. That's a land. Dust Bowl. Sacking Wastes. No lands for opponent now. Okay. I'm gonna let them have a green source. Black source is a lot scarier. Now on end step we get to Foff, and now we can start. Now we can start getting away. Now we can start pulling pretty far ahead. So Mana Leak is effectively counterspell here. Just gonna take the pile with a land. AK is great. So Dust Bowl, your land, pass the turn, go till end step, AK, and I think we probably got this now. Pass the turn. I don't even know if I'm supposed to Foff here and end step because I'm just gonna go to discard. So I think I'm just going to Impulse into another AK. All right, sure. Gonna take an AK instead of another land, I think. Okay, Healing Land drops. I think I maybe should have attacked. Now I think I'm just gonna start getting in there. Oh, it's only 2 to activate Fairy Conclave. This card's broken. I thought it was 3. So now I'm not hitting any more land drops, so I think I'm going to... I think I AK on end step. That's very nice. Play an island. And now I'm gonna discard Flooded Strand, Stifle, I guess Darker Wastes. And now we're gonna start closing the game with Decree of Justice. Decree for 6. Opponent concedes. Alright. Game number 3. Is Annul better than Aura of Silence? Actually, an interesting thought. Is Annul better than Aura of Silence? Probably on the draw. Also kind of not feeling the Humility. Maybe I'm crazy about that. Maybe, no, Humility is just too good, right? Yeah, I think it's just too good. Okay, I'm gonna keep this. We got some land drops to hit. We don't have counter magic, which can be bad. Also, if my opponent goes turn 1 Duress into turn 2 Therapy or something like that, they get like full 3/4/2. Because we're on the draw and we're not gonna get to play one of these Seal of Cleansings before my opponent gets to get rid of it. We're gonna have the board control kind of covered. Taking Impulse. Okay, so that basically screams that they have a Therapy. It's basically confirmed that they have Cabal Therapy here. Or no. Okay. Well, now we are a little bit insulated from Cabal Therapy, which is very nice. Okay. So many walls. I think I play another one because I can Stifle if my opponent does the Pernicious Deed thing. Tide is a great draw. Rager. I'm probably not going to Stifle that. Can I find land? I did find land. Now, do I just blow everything up? I think I start with Humility. No, actually, Humility doesn't help me here. It actually allows the walls to attack. It's not great. Yeah, I think we're gonna go a Tiding, I think. I think we're gonna go Tiding. Exile that, exile that, exile that, exile that. Seal of Cleansing. One-sided Armageddon. Here we go. Gonna take 2 for a little bit here. Alright. It's a good draw. Rager getting in there. Rager be raging. I guess maybe I should have held on to that Tide. If I had a counterspell, I would have been a lot happier holding on with that Tide, but now we're gonna get to fall for my opponent's End Step. 6 cards in hand for them. Dude, Cabal Therapy is rough. Cabal Therapy is so rough here. And we know that they're gonna name Humility or Wrath or something that actually matters here. So opponent's gonna have full information. Parallax Tide is what was named. Okay. So now if opponent flashbacks, I'm just gonna counterspell. Because obviously they're just gonna name either counterspell or Foff, both things which are bad. Untap. Gonna Foff main phase here. The reason being I want to hit land drops. So I think my opponent should split this spells versus lands. Yeah, I don't agree with this split. I think spells versus land was the split there. Because I was very likely just gonna take. It's gonna be a Deed. It's gonna be a Recurrent Nightmare. Deed. Okay. So I guess we're just gonna blow it up. No attacks with Rager. I have to assume that's a misclick. Okay. Yeah, I think we just pass it back. Gonna take 2 down to 12. And on instead we're gonna do stuff. Pointing down to 3 cards to our million. So Deranged Hermit. Okay, so we're gonna let that go. Now we're going to Foff. And now we're gonna get to Wrath. Once again, we're gonna choose the pile that has lands. Play land. Wrath. I think my opponent knew about that Wrath, if I'm not mistaken. Now we have Counterspell. Actually, I'm gonna Counterspell a Cabal Therapy, I think, here. Counterspell your Hermit. And I think now we have this covered. So now we play land. 1, 2, 3, 4. Play Humility. Now their cards just don't do anything. And we have Decree, we have Counterspell. That's a 4-mana 1/1. Tap. It's a lot of Flooded Strands. But we have fetchables. We have fetchables, so we're good. Pass the turn. And then we're gonna Decree. And then we're going to just close the game from there. Take 1. Yeah, Humility is just way too good in this matchup, right? Like, just look at the pile of 1/1s that my opponent has. While I have Decree, right? Decree for 6 versus, yeah. GG's incursor Saprasano. Bien jugado. Muy bien jugado. All right, folks, wrapping this one up. I ended up rallying back to a 2-3 after an 0-3 start. But I am not sold on this style deck. Obviously, you know, let's get deck construction out of the way, right? Like, obviously, maybe I needed one more Decree of Justice. Maybe the deck should have like one more Wrath in the main deck, one more Factor Fiction. I don't know. Like, I'm no control expert. This was just me kind of getting a feel for how these lists look like, and then just trying to see what I can muster together. I'm going by feel, and what I feel, or what I felt through all these matches, is that Premodern is a very proactive format, and the big difference versus when I played the Blue-White Solution deck last time and this one is that the Blue-White Solution is not only presenting the stuff proactively, right? The Blue-White Solution has the answers, but it's also asking the questions, right? So I really felt it, particularly when I play against Ole, which again, I apologize for the technical difficulties during that match. I hope that it was, you know, understandable and enjoyable regardless. But you know, I was in a position where it's like, okay, I have this mana leak or like this counterspell or whatever, and I can tag a turn to survival. And then my opponent plays a priest, which is kind of like, oh, well, I kind of have to deal with that priest as well, right? So, okay, I have to use my counterspell there. And then, like, 2 turns later, Ole played the survival, and just like, I just have no answer for that because I already wasted my counterspell, but I could not really let the priest resolve anyway. So it put me like in a little bit of pickle. While with the blue-white version, if I had been playing the blue-white solution deck instead, I just play the Melee Mage proactively. It just sits there, it names survival. If my opponent plays a priest, good, I can use some other card to deal with that priest, or I can just try to blanket in some other way. Like, for example, if I can manage to to find another Melee Mage and I can name Wirewood Symbiote, or like the dude that starts drawing cards to stop the other engine, or if I find Parallax Wave. So that's kind of how it felt, you know, like I could not, I was forced into, okay, past turn 2, and sure, I can cantrip if my opponent doesn't play anything, but if they play anything, I kind of have to interact with it. Particularly if it's something minimally relevant, or even medium relevant. Like, Priest is not a given that is going to run away with the game, like, it very likely is, but I don't know, right? I don't know, and if I look at my hand, it's just like, I kind of have to go for this. And then I just get blown out if my opponent just plays around the counter magic, which they can do. And we didn't even get to pair. It didn't even get paired versus stuff like goblins, which I assume would be very, very similar, where, you know, they just can effectively run you out of stuff to do. But yeah, the whole Parallax style plus Seal of Cleansing, I think it's very strong. It's honestly like, what I really liked is a very proactive reason to be playing with this card. Like, this card is just fantastic in the format. We blew up a multitude of different cards, and just having access to a 2-card combo like this, making use of this as sort of like a combo aspect, means that the card, even though the card is already rarely dead, the fact that we're also comboing it with Parallax Tide means that it's literally never ever dead, which is obviously very, very valuable. So very, very cool combination that I'm interested in exploring. So far, I like the Solution Shell a lot better, but this one it feels like it has some very lopsided matchups, which is not really what you want out of your control deck, particularly when we got paired against the Stasis deck. It was just a disaster, right? Like, it felt like Will was just playing me like a fiddle, and it was just always feeling behind, right? Like, I was hitting my landers and like doing stuff, but, you know, he was always able to get the upper hand on every single exchange, and I don't think that is necessarily a coincidence. I think that's very, very much by design. So, not super high on the control version of this deck, very high on the solution, like proactive way of building the deck as well. So those are my thoughts on this style of deck. I'm very happy that I explore this. I find this kind of shell very, very entertaining, and this kind of, you know, game plan where you're sort of doing some prisony stuff, and like, you know, Who doesn't love one-sided Armageddons, right? Hopefully you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the content, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And if you'd like to support my content, you can do so in a variety of different ways. You can support it whenever you use TCG Player and ManaTraders as services by using the links in the description of the video down below. And if you would like to support my content directly, you can do so through Patreon. You can do it through direct donations. And if you're interested in coaching as well, that's also something that I offer. Thank you so much for watching, folks. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.